we go for launch.
5.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Anything can happen in the next half hour.
4.
My friend, we cannot keep this a secret any longer.
This whole thing is insane.
3.
Quiet, please. I am analyzing.
Where's the kaboom?
2.
There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
1.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, the night no one comes home.
You don't really know much about Halloween. Halloween, the barriers will be down between the real and the unreal. And the dead might be looking in. The last great one took place 3,000 years ago when the hills ran red.
Halloween, the children.
You happen to know anything about this Cochran?
All I can tell you, mister, is watch out. He's watching you, friend, I guarantee you that.
Trick or treat, trick or treat.
Hey, Mr. Cochran, just what is the final process?
Fellas, I was just kidding.
Witchcraft. To us, it was a way of controlling our environment.
Hey!
Where are they taking her?
They're taking her to the factory.
I want a mask. Can I have a mask?
Just what I had in mind for you, little buddy. Why, Cocker? Why? Do I need a reason?
I've got nothing here to indicate there was ever a body at all.
Operator, this is an emergency.
I do love a good joke, and this is the best ever. A joke on the children. I'm glad you'll be able to watch it.
You've got to believe me!
They're going to kill us. All of us.
Stop it!
The world's going to change tonight, Doctor. Happy Halloween.
Stop it!
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, the night no one comes home.
Greetings, my fellow galactic travelers, and welcome back to Planet 8. This is your Mission Commander Larry speaking to you from our hidden base. Chief Engineer Bob is here by my side as always in the command center, and circling Planet 8 in our orbital spy satellite is Reconnaissance Officer Karen.
And we are back with our friends, Lord Blood-Rah and Jeff Wehenkel. Karen and Bob, your Mission Commander Larry, we're ready to spook you guys out. It's our Halloween episode. Yeah, get ready. What do you talk about for a Halloween episode? I know, Halloween 3. You can see Jeff has some of the masks from the movie, some signage and paraphernalia. We're going to talk about a lot of things. If you have not seen Halloween 3, what's wrong with you? You should watch it. It's a great movie. We're going to tell you how great it is.
Hit pause, go watch it, and
Right.
then
There you go.
Spoiler alert.
There's lots of
There is
spoilers
no
in
Michael
this, I'm
Myers.
sure, yeah.
spoilers are coming, so you better go watch it.
Well, absolutely. This came out back in 1982.
Mhm.
And I'm sure you all know Halloween was going to be an anthology. Halloween 1 was Michael Myers. It did so good. The studio wanted another Michael Myers story. So instead of an anthology starting with the second film, we got Halloween 2, and I'm not knocking those films. they are what they are, and but thankfully, when Halloween 3 was going to come out, they ditched Michael. But don't worry, after Halloween 3, Michael Myers does about 15 more Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Different directors, different decades and whatnot. But
the story's all the same.
That's right.
Yeah, he didn't go to space or New York, did he?
Jason went to space.
Jason went to
and New
space.
York.
Michael should go to space.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the farthest Michael went was Wichita or something like that. So
even Leprechaun went into space.
even Leprechaun went into space. That's
And
right.
and
Michael's
Hellraiser too.
he's the small town boy. He didn't really want to leave. He just
He's more
wanted
of a
to stay.
homebody.
Fun fact, one year, many years ago, Bob, Karen, and I were at a Monsterpalooza out in Burbank, and we hitched a ride with Butch, or Butch hitched a ride, or maybe he met us there. But we went
Bush
to the...
knew where it was. That was the key.
Yeah, that's how we were going to get
It's
to it.
essential.
Yeah. And it was the house that was featured in the first Halloween movie. Unfortunately, we didn't make it out to the Mask Factory in Halloween 3, but you never know what your Planet 8 podcast crew.
Well, the thing is, though, when we went and saw the Michael Myers house, Butch was saying the hardware store they go to in the first movie is right down the street, practically right across the street from the Michael Myers house.
Right.
But it wasn't there to begin with. It was somewhere else, and they moved it and put it there. So
there you go.
But yeah, it's like we were wondering if the people in the house knew what house they lived in. But when you went up there, they had a little sign that says, "Please, no pictures on the porch." So it's like, yeah,
I think
sure
they do.
they get people there all the time trying to.
Oh man, I would have decorated the heck out of that. Anyway,
I'm surprised somebody hasn't turned that into like an Airbnb or something.
all right, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they do that with the Warrens' home
Hmm.
eventually.
They did do that with the house from Poltergeist.
Did they?
Yeah. Somebody
Oh.
bought it, remade it, put it back to exactly the way it looked in the movie. And they rent it out as an Airbnb now.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
It
It is cool.
Halloween 3. I was fortunate enough to see this on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
They showed it at the Parkway in Oakland back when they showed movies there. And it was so cool. And, it for whatever reason, it didn't do well at the box office. Not for lack of a good story and
Right.
a great
It was for lack of Michael.
Yeah.
Lack of Michael.
People just wanted slasher, and at that time, the slasher films were the big. It was the early '80s was the big thing, and
Yeah.
For better or worse, but it's on DVD, it's on Blu-ray, it's streaming. It's watch the commercial come Halloween night and put on your mask and watch what happens.
And
You gotta be in front of your TV at 9.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It wasn't just, people wanted Michael Myers in the film, but it was also just such a change of tone. The Halloween was gritty and really terrifying and, about a psycho with a knife.
Mhm.
And this was a much more kind of fanciful, lighter, scary and creepy, but a much lighter tone. A much kind of more fun. It was more of a fun film rather than a really serious horror film. And I think it's the perfect Halloween film.
Absolutely. There
I
were
love
more
it.
jump scares in this. There were a couple of jump scares in the Michael Myers films, but there was a lot of blood and a lot of, gruesome, gory.
Oh yeah.
This has kills in it. Don't get me wrong, and usually they don't kill children, but it
Well,
happens.
that kid.
What the heck?
That kid deserved it.
Well, And the whole film, what struck me, it's witchcraft, right? And science, and they merge the magic, or the what do witches use? Spells, I guess, or conjuring, evil with technology. And I don't know that they've done it before or since. If they have, if any of you guys know, let me know. Otherwise, those of you watching this on YouTube, and if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to the audio version, get over to YouTube. We have a very lovely looking crew tonight with all our accoutrement on display. But yeah, it was really cool. There's a piece of Stonehenge in the story, and it's an awesome movie.
Well, the original script was written by Nigel Neal, who did Quatermass and The Stone Tape, which this has a lot in common with. Again, the merger of science and the supernatural, not necessarily witchcraft, but the supernatural. Actually, Quatermass in the Pit does as well. It's he that's kind of a signature of his. He took his name off the film because he wasn't happy with the way the producers wanted to put in more violence and sensationalize it more. But look at some other Nigel Neal things, especially The Stone Tape. I think you can find it on YouTube.
I believe so. I did a podcast with friend of the show, Billy, on The Stone Tape. He was listening. Yeah, go Billy. He was listening to our podcast and heard me mention it. I think for our ghost episode or haunted episode. But anyway, I just came across it, Lord Blood-Rah. I wasn't looking specifically for it, but you're right. Yeah. Technology played a really, really big role in that movie as well. And yeah, it wasn't witchcraft per se, but it was the haunting of that home and that room, and great story. Check out that episode if you haven't seen it yet, kids, and definitely check out that movie. Walker, one of your favorite movies.
I was going to say that reminds me of what Lord Blood-Rah was talking about, Nigel Neal, Quatermass in the Pit, right? Because you have a lot of things occurring in that film that feel very supernatural in nature. The people in the neighborhood where the spaceship is discovered, they've had for years and decades these rumors of, supernatural beings around and having hauntings and stuff. But it's really the psychic influence of the aliens that have been buried in that area. So it's an interesting merging. Yeah, the peanut butter and the chocolate go together.
There you go.
It makes a really creepy.
So, Bob, I gotta know: did you see this at the drive-in or at the movies back in 1982?
No, I did not.
Huh?
I did see the original Halloween in the theaters.
Okay.
And then I was not really into the whole slasher thing. So Halloween 3 just kind of got lost in the wave of I'm really not interested in the slasher films. But so actually I watched it Monday. That was the first time I've seen it.
Oh, Monday?
Oh, no kidding.
Okay. What'd you think?
A couple nights ago I watched it. It's one big wacky film, I gotta say.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like, all right, let's get these masks and we'll put these medallions on them, but we'll put a chip in the medallion. But that's not quite going to do it. So let's get a piece of Stonehenge and stick it behind the chip. And it's like, I think, and then when the kids, the masks melt and the kid, whoever, they follow, and then bugs start coming out. And it's like, wait, where the heck did the bugs come from? And then my favorite line, I think, was they have this big, huge stone from Stonehenge. And he says, the only explanation of where it came from or how it got there is, it took a lot to get it here.
Right. You won't believe how we got it here.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's kind of like Akira Takarada in Godzilla Final Wars, where they escape. He's like, his whole line explaining how they did it is somehow we escaped.
Somehow,
Same thing.
I
Palpatine
don't want to
returned.
bore you with it.
Yeah, let's not put detail in here. Let's not explain this. Hey, it was just tough doing it.
They do kind of set it up at the very beginning of the movie when there's a TV newscast on saying, and the funny thing, this piece of Stonehenge is vanished. We don't know where it is, how it got moved, what happened to it, and
Right.
Yeah, but I saw that part, but it's like it didn't just. It wasn't a transporter. It's like that was a big hunk of rock. So it had to take a lot of machinery, whatever, whether it's cranes or whatever, to get that thing out of
magic, yeah.
So like nobody questioned or saw, hey, what's that? What's that doing out there?
It's up to you to decide what happened.
Right.
Bob, you're thinking maybe there is a huge helicopter and men attaching it, or maybe, some little fairies danced in a circle around it and it disappeared. Who knows? There's all sorts of explanations, right?
Or two of those mechanical men just went and got it.
I was going to say the androids, right? They just,
Those
pick it up and
androids
go.
were not nice people.
They could have cast a spell where people didn't, see, or maybe they fell asleep, or
right.
And then grinding up Stonehenge, that was part of the sacrifice, right? To the, was it like a devil or a demon? I can't remember the name.
They don't even say.
They don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't even say,
It was just the old Celtic gods, with Sauron and that sort of thing,
Yeah.
The stone's been imbued.
What it was before it was Halloween, back when.
Right.
Back when the fields ran red with the blood of children and animals and such, So.
Good old days.
You have to kind of
Good old
wonder
days.
though, when Nigel Neal originally wrote the script or wrote the treatment, between that point and the point where the movie was actually filmed or edited or whatever, did a lot of that get dropped?
I'd love to see the original script.
it'd be interesting
maybe he
to
has
read.
some explanations in there, and they're like, "Oh, that's too much techno babble or whatever." Just cut that out.
I would bet the mechanical men aren't in there. I would bet the murders, at least, are not seen on camera with Nigel Neal. Perhaps they're alluded to.
But there's, a lot more supernatural aspect to things in the original script.
Right.
Yeah, the mechanical men are kind of out of left field. It's kind of bizarre. Like, oh, this is my hobby, building these androids, and it's like,
Did they
Okay,
ever do
sure.
did they ever do a novel for the movie?
that's a good question.
Yes.
Because
A
I'm wondering
novelization
if
did
that
come
might
out
have
and was
taken
pretty
more
popular.
from his original
I don't know.
script.
Neil didn't write the novel.
No, but I was
know
wondering,
that, so, yeah, I don't
whoever
know.
did might have had his script as part of the reference.
Yeah. Be fun to dig that up somewhere.
Mhm.
It would be interesting to find out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I thought
Otherwise,
Dan
we all
O'Hurley.
have our theories.
Yes. I thought Dan O'Hurley as Cochrane was brilliant.
So
He was
sinister.
just great. So friendly and, so amicable, and then just so insane, then evil and
He has that ability to be just super amiable and very, very welcoming and calm and put you at ease, but then you're in big trouble, and you don't realize it until it's too late.
I feel like I dated one of his sisters back in the 90s.
He reminded me a little bit of Lord Summerisle from The Wicker Man.
Ooh,
in that sense. This is my religion. I'm going to use it to play the biggest prank in the world.
Yeah.
But this is, that was one thing. That's a big difference. Is he wasn't trying to make the crops grow or anything like that. He just wanted to play a trick. He was the Joker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just time again. It's the world had gone awry, and it was time to go back to the old ways. And that's the main. It always cracked me up because that was the main explanation for everything. It's like, well, it's time again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. He says in the movie, we don't decide these things, the planets do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's,
There you go.
That's a Lovecraft.
Felt like
Planet said it was time to kill off a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
he was just an agent of a higher force, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See how that goes in court.
Yeah, right. Well, he never makes it to court because he gets hit with that beam and then turns into this goofy tinfoil sculpture of himself that doesn't look anything like the actor.
No.
I'd forgotten how bad that was. Why
Yeah.
does that look so terrible?
Well, isn't it?
It was the
wasn't it-
80s.
Wasn't it Don Post Studios that did most of the effects for it?
The Berman Studios did most of like the makeup, actual kind of makeup effects. Don Post was in charge of creating the masks, which 2 of them were already made. They added the pumpkin as a brand new sculpture, but the skull had been out for years. Hagatha had been out for years, and they shot all that production stuff when they were showing, the pouring of the masks and this and that, and all the molds and things like that. That was all at Don Post Studios.
That's cool.
In LA. But for the most part, the Tom Berman and like the Berman Studios back then, who were responsible for like like a lot of the animal men in the the 70s version of Island of Dr. Moreau, and they were fairly, and they did Cat People with Nastasia Kinski and stuff. They did all the other kind of effects.
That's cool.
So,
but I just thought with that they could have just done a freeze frame and done an optical effect on the face instead of this. Just the weird effect that they used.
Yeah, that was a little odd. It wasn't satisfying at all. that wasn't a satisfying end.
No.
To Cochran at all.
Might have been one of those things where it's like they only had so much time and so much money, and they Ed Wooded it.
You're right.
No.
Well, the whole film was made for what was it, 4.6 million?
Is that right?
And I think they said it grossed like close to 10 or something in the theater. So it made its money. It just wasn't as big a hit as
the blockbuster that
the 2 Michael Myers films.
Yeah.
Well, it made John Carpenter give up the idea of an anthology series of films on Halloween. Unfortunately, I would love to have seen what else they would have come up with.
Yeah.
I agree.
Stories set on Halloween.
It was like, go back and unpack the Kirk mask.
It's a case where the success actually harmed them because they couldn't really do what they wanted to do creatively.
Yeah.
How about Tom Atkins in this thing? Because it just cracked me up, and Bob, I've only seen it twice, so you're just a little
twice
bit behind me.
as many times as I have.
Twice as many times as you. But I had to crack up because this guy, he's supposed to be a doctor and everything, but it's like, what do we see him doing? And he's pretty responsible as a doctor. He goes to the hospital and, tries to take care of people. But as a dad, he is terrible. And he shows up to the house and the kids are there. And then he's like, at every opportunity, avoiding his time with the kids to go off with this hot young chick. And like, what do we see him do? He calls, he says, oh, I can't make it. I got this doctor thing. And then all of a sudden into frame comes a 6-pack of beer and the chick, and he's running off with her. And it's like, this is our hero.
Right.
But I think he's great in this. I think he's really, he does a great job, but he's, I don't know. I think it's a typical Carpenter kind of character where he's got a lot of flaws.
Well, the interesting thing with the 2 of them, they're probably the only couple in all the Halloween films that were able to make out and not get immediately killed after.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were able to make out and survive.
Yeah.
For
Well, they were
a while, but
he was a mature guy. He wasn't a teenager.
No, no.
They didn't go by teenager rules for that kind of thing.
I think, Walk, you make an excellent point. He's a flawed hero.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's a reluctant hero, but he wasn't in it for the fame and the glory. I mean, you know, I got to call at the hospital. I got to go. There's lives at stake here. Yeah, he had the beer and the chicks and stuff too, but you know, again, it was the 80s, not to make excuses, but
well,
now did you guys get the impression that he had probably had some sort of a fling with probably at least 50% of the women that worked at the hospital?
I was going to bring that up. Yeah. Yeah, especially that lab technician.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
totally.
They had an affair. Right there, that's kind of like really good storytelling, is that, well, why? What went wrong with his marriage? Oh, that. Okay. And they heavily infer that he's an alcoholic, but you never see him drunk. You never see him not able to function as an alcoholic.
No.
You know,
he's drinking constantly, though.
But he's drinking constantly.
Well, he's packing around the beers and he's packing
it's-
around a bottle in a bag and everything else.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like they get to the hotel, you know, the little motel place up by the factory and stuff, and it's like, you know, it's getting late. I need a drink.
Right.
So
yeah, it's true.
absolutely. But you know, like I was saying, he reluctantly, you know, once he starts, hey, and if I saw half the crap he saw, I would have sobered up quick too. So
yeah. There were a couple of moments in there where I thought he's going to faint. He is actually going to fall over
or pass out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think one of the great visual effects, it was real gory, but it was the one lady that suffered the accident,
the
or the mishap,
where she's picking at the circuit board.
Yeah, and they show her. Was the head exploded or
just, it was like the face was all like
yeah, she got shot. She got shot in the mouth, so it was all
it was it reminded me of like the Predator mouth, the way it kind of like it shouldn't have any mandibles, but
blown open. Yeah,
it was
quite
gory,
blown open, and her teeth were all kind of messed up and stuff. They kind of were murmuring to each other. It's like, so what happened here? It's like, well, it's misfire.
Yeah, that's how they characterize it. That's right, misfire.
Right.
Hell of a misfire.
Yeah.
Right. And I loved her character.
The funny,
she gets out of the car, she's just complaining to a complete stranger. Damn company, I hate coming out here. You don't know this man.
Well, I like that they're going to give her the best medical care available at the warehouse.
Yeah. Yes. At a mask making factory. Yeah.
We can give her a robot.
That's where I'd go for my hospitalization.
Vicious at all.
One of the things Karen brought up a couple of days ago, you know, we're prepping for the show. The name of the town.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Santa
Walker.
Mira. Yeah, it was funny because I was watching this and they were talking about Santa Mira. And well, one thing, it sounded a lot like the name of my hometown where I grew up, which was Santa Maria. But then that made me remember, oh, yeah, there was another movie that sounded like my hometown. It was Santa Mira, I think. And I remembered it was Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah. And I thought, this has to be intentional. They have to be. And sure enough, I watched some little behind the scenes thing. And they said, they said that this film, instead of being like I think the director, I think it was Tommy Lee Wallace. He said, instead of being a knife movie, this is a pod movie. So like pod people type movie, which I guess with maybe the robots, maybe that's where you get like the pod people.
Well, they never really show like a person who becomes a robot.
Well,
except what's her name?
Yeah.
Ellie at the end, but but before that, I mean, they have all these robot android guys, but they don't show like what were they before, you know, or like hey, these people went missing and then suddenly they're.
So yeah, it could have been that all of those robots were replacements for actual people.
Right.
I don't
So
know.
is everyone in town a robot then? Because everyone's complicit. I
Yeah,
didn't
but
get the feeling everyone was a robot. Maybe
I didn't either, because the robots we knew were robots didn't really talk, or
Yeah.
they
They're
were
all in
very
suits.
Well, no, they did talk.
stiff.
Maybe there were like different classifications because the lab techs that seemed to
Oh,
be
that's true.
mechanical
Yeah.
spoke. Then the guys in suits, the security ones, didn't speak.
Mm.
And maybe the ones that like just populated the town were like more sophisticated to give a veneer of normalcy to the town.
Although there was that one drunk guy that
Right.
Tom Atkins finds and buys him a bottle and stuff, and he's asking him all these questions and things and stuff. And of course, the next thing you know, he's dead because he's all disgruntled about it's like, they brought this factory in and they weren't going to hire any of us. They brought all their own people in and this and that. So,
But he's also talking about getting a bunch of Molotov cocktails.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Too smart.
So,
the masks that Jeff has displayed, those are so beautiful and so integral to the story. The masks in the movie are sold to the kids like ad nauseum everywhere, and they're showing footage of all these kids just getting hold of these masks. As Jeff had said earlier, they actually filmed in the Don Post shop, and they're just huge boxes of witch masks and pumpkins and skulls. And so at one point they show this family that's kind of touring the factory, and they give they have a kid with them one of the pumpkin masks, and what's that?
I'm sorry, and he wants to take one right off of the line.
Right.
And they're like, oh, no, you don't take that one. Here, have one of these.
It's not ready yet, or it's not.
It's been through final processing.
Yeah, there you go.
Final processing.
Yeah.
No, but his father had sold more of those masks than anyone in the country, which is how they got the tour of the factory and all that.
Get rewarded.
Special present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, they wouldn't take his order for next year.
Right.
There ain't going to be a next year.
You're leading to the scene in the little room. That I have to admit, I had to look away because the bugs just got to me.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's like bugs and snakes and
snakes.
I saw it when it premiered in the theater. It was just like, oh
yeah,
yeah.
That I actually that's a fun, and Lieutenant Jasmine, or is it Lieutenant Command? Anyway, whatever rank she is, hasn't seen this film. So like I said, we're gonna watch it Friday, and there's so many jump scares. She's gonna jump out of her skin. And fun fact, she hates cockroaches. So that scene, if I can like sneak video of her jumping out of her skin and share it next podcast, no, she'd kill me.
But not just
cockroaches. Like I'd love to watch her watch this movie.
Oh,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Set up a camera.
I know, right?
Do one of those YouTube reaction videos.
There's another movie, Creep Show, with the roaches. The guy in the clip. I want her to watch. She won't watch the X-File episode with the roaches either. She saw the beginning. She's like, nope. Next episode.
I always thought that episode was so brilliant because at one point, just arbitrarily, they have a roach like walk across the screen.
Yes.
Without acknowledging it. You just saying, oh, there's one right here. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. That got me.
Yeah.
Like, okay. That's okay.
So the parents, they're freaking out. The kid and the mask starts to like collapse.
Right.
So those bugs and they've eaten basically, and I guess he's the first sacrifice then, right? Because
pretty much, because it's kind of a test. Yeah.
Did the bugs come out of the mask or did they come out of him?
I think they came out of him because
Yeah.
I mean there were bugs. There was that big snake that comes out of it and
Because
stuff.
there was
one
the
bug came out
first
of it.
woman that got zapped in the mouth or whatever.
He had a bug.
After
She
that
just had
happened,
she had a bug that crawled out
the
of her
bug
mouth.
came out of her mouth. So
Right.
that kind of says, well, maybe they came out of him. I mean,
Is it a byproduct of the sacrifice?
I think so. I think
don't
it's
know.
whatever the Stonehenge piece plus the technology of that flashy pumpkin thing setting it off because that kind of starts to glow a little bit. I don't know if it was just because of the light or what, but I don't know if they intended it to make it look like it was like activating or something like that with him sitting because he's sitting there with the TV screen and then with the little pumpkin flashing and stuff and then his thing on the back kind of seems like it's flashing along with it and then it starts to kind of melt and he's like but yeah then all the bugs and creepy crawlies and snakes and whatnot just kind of crawl out of them.
Yeah.
And you wonder, I mean, was it supposed to be something apocalyptic? Because, I mean,
someone mentioned that the plagues from the Bible or something.
I guess, but would it have, I mean, an incredible wave of grief across the country? And they never say the masks are sold worldwide. They say across the country. And it would be a tremendous influx of infestation of vermin.
well, they have that little montage of kids in the masks walking around on
All over the country.
Halloween, and I don't remember if it was just a bunch of U.S. cities because they put little names,
Yeah,
Peoria,
I believe
whatever,
it was.
along the bottom, but I don't remember if any of those were,
Yeah.
some other.
Yeah, I don't remember if there was another country. I don't know why I want to say Sao Paulo was one,
Oh, really?
but
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
stake my life on that. But the thing that was odd to me, they were going to do this at 9 o'clock.
Right.
Is that 9 Eastern? 9 West?
Oh.
But it was like
Midnight on the West
you had to sort of, how are you going to get all these kids together watching everything the exact same time all over the world or all over the country?
Right.
Unless each broadcasts at a different time, depending on the zone it was in.
But then when it happens in one's, if it happens over on the East Coast, wouldn't people in the East Coast be like calling everyone saying, don't play this, don't play this,
No, well, I was thinking is like,
stop it,
when you're in
Yeah.
Santa Mira, it's probably saying 9 o'clock. If you're in New York, the broadcast may say 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Something.
Even if it, and not to overthink it, but there was no internet. There was no, yes, they could call, their cousins and brothers. But if the kids are out trick-or-treating, where do back in the 80s, I don't even know if they had pagers, maybe, but whether someone died or was born, I didn't find out till I got home from school or I was done playing with my friends. And
well,
then
that was a frustrating thing too, because every time he had to call somebody, he had to like run over and it's almost like they didn't have a phone even in the room that they were staying in. You had to go over to the main office of the motel and use that phone.
The one thing is get all the kids to take off the masks or stop the broadcast from happening. And at what time did the studios like automate some of the things that were running at that time?
Right.
Because again, we all know at midnight or 1 a.m. the broadcast day ended. They played the national anthem, and and then that was automated. So I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting question.
I mean, I would assume that when the networks realized what was going on, they would shut it down the line. Like there was a show called Turn On in the late 60s that was supposed to be, it was by the producers of Laugh-In, that premiered on the East Coast. By the time it hit the middle of the country, it had already been canceled. So it didn't air on the West Coast. So
oh my gosh.
There's a way to there's a way to shut that down. But the thing at the end of the movie, right? He's on the phone saying, "Shut it down, shut it down," and two of the stations shut it down, and then the third station's still playing it. Who is he calling? What one phone number can do that for the three networks?
The
I assume they're going to listen to some guy yelling at him on a phone, listen to some crank on the phone yelling at him.
Yeah, right. Shut it down, shut it down, shut it down.
Stop it, stop it, stop it.
Yeah. That was
And his own kids, he got the masks for them, and he's trying to take them out. The wife's like, you son of a bitch. What are you?
Screw you.
Take the mask, please.
Yeah.
But before that, he grabs his gal, sabotages the warehouse by throwing those buttons, the Shamrock buttons.
Right.
Medallions.
The medallions.
Yeah, a big box though. He just dumps them on it.
Like what?
Yeah, Bob.
It's a little like what Jeff has.
Yeah, right. Like the medallion that Jeff has. If you're not on YouTube, go on now.
Yeah, this fell off of one of the masks. I need to look at it later.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just leave it up there.
But yeah, like Bob said, he grabs like one of the boxes full of buttons, and they're just chucking them over, and so the robots start like,
after he broadcasts the signal in the room.
Oh, right,
yeah, right. They were testing it.
Right.
They were testing the signal, and so they all start like, which is interesting that a bunch of cockroaches just didn't manifest out of the air, so it must have come from the mask.
Well, they didn't have the
organic material.
Yeah, so anyway,
I'm wondering in the original concept if it was more like summoning demons rather than just vermin.
I'm not sure. Again, reading things, talking to people, it was going to be this grand sacrifice to one of these deities, and it was like a biblical plague. Instead of toads, it was, not that there were roaches in the plagues, the 10 plagues of Egypt, but
those locusts, right?
Locusts. Well, there you go. But he finds the girl. They did not kill her, and so he unbuckles her. They had her, locked down, and he grabs her, and they escape. And as he's driving down the road, and here's the thing: we were talking about the robots, where the scientists, they could kind of talk and do science things.
Right.
The guys in the suits were more like automatons, just, Unfortunately, we come to find out she's a robot. But before we find that out, she's having this conversation with him like it's her.
Right.
Real good programming on their part.
Right. I mean, like any movie, there are threads you just shouldn't pull. Or the entire thing falls apart,
I was wondering, now that we know that she's a robot or whatever at the end, would be like to go back to the point where he unstraps her and look for clues in the way she's acting or whatever to see if any of it gives it away. If there's any clues in there.
She's not saying, she's all of a sudden not saying much.
That's right.
That whole end. And I've seen it 20 times now, and I don't really remember her saying anything after he grabs her out of the thing. She's just kind of, he's talking to her. I don't remember her answering back anything.
And she doesn't try to stop him, throwing the button.
Why didn't she stop him?
Right?
Yeah,
She's with him.
But in all those scenes, he's basically the focus. So you're watching him dump buttons, run around, try to do things. So you're not really paying attention to her, what she's doing or what she's not doing, which is why, like I said, I'd want to go back and just concentrate on her in all those scenes and see if
there's any hints or clues.
See if you see anything in there.
Did Cochran know that he was going to get away and this was his final prank on the doctor?
Probably.
Maybe, because why didn't she try to stop him if she was a robot and on
why didn't she push him over the edge?
Push him over the edge. She could have picked him up and thrown him over the edge. Yeah. Again, there are some threads you can't pull.
I have several friends that have tried to convince me that she was actually in a robot the entire time. And it's like, no.
If she was from that town, I would think maybe.
Yeah.
No.
Interesting theory.
She was from like Southern California or something, right?
Yeah.
She came up.
Right.
So
Well, that's what she tells him. We don't know.
They did go to her dad's store.
True.
Right.
And she was explaining things. So
true.
Yeah, I don't, and Tom, certainly had his way with her, so she'd have to be a hell of a robot.
Yeah.
To fool
Like
as many people, I'm sure, as Tom Atkins had slept with at that point, or Dr. Chalice, I should say, not Tom himself.
I think we need a sequel to Season of the Witch, or the Halloween 3, where we maybe a prequel or something. I don't know.
There you go.
Was this before or after like Night of the Comet?
This was 82. Night of the
82.
Comet.
I think it was later.
I want to say later, but don't quote me on that.
I'm not sure myself.
One of the things that was interesting too, when he starts, like, he crashes the car and she's in pieces, and then the hand, it reminded me of Ash from the Evil Dead.
Right.
Mm.
Right. And there again, how does the hand has no leverage. It's just
yeah.
It was really
Again.
just a terrible film. Just a fun horror film,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've watched this a dozen times over, and this is one of my favorites. I'll even watch it outside of the Halloween season. So
and there's just that creepy jingle.
Oh God!
Yeah. Now, how many of you had that stuck in your head like the entire night after watching the movie?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I actually play it on Halloween night for people coming to the house. Dun, 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 dun.
That's got to drive
Fun
your
fact
neighbors
with
nuts.
the song. Who wants to talk about how they came up with that song?
Well, it's London Bridge is falling down, right?
Yeah.
That was in the public
domain. Or is it Mary Had a Little Lamb?
Same thing.
Same thing, I know.
Yeah.
They had no money in the budget to have someone write a song or a jingle or whatever, and so I think it was the director. And it's actually his voice, I think, saying happy. No. His voice is, "Hey kids,
right?
It's almost Halloween."
I think he did both. I thought.
Is it that he did both? Okay, that would be cool.
Yeah, because I think what he said was that they recorded him like that, like they did the Chipmunks, where he kind of spoke slowly about 8 more days till and then they sped it up, 8 more days till Halloween. So
well, the voice of the operator, and also the voice telling everyone to get
curfew.
That curfew's coming. That was Jamie Lee Curtis.
Right.
Oh,
no kidding.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What could have been if this was a more of a anthology? What would Halloween 2 have been if not Michael Myers?
This probably.
Would this have been the
this
second
been
film?
Halloween
and then
2,
where would they have gone with the third? Psycho killer, witchcraft, then what? Haunted house? I don't know.
Possibly haunted house, ghosts. Even though they could have gone anywhere with it. That's that's the thing. They could have gone anywhere, and pretty strong to go with a Nigel Neal story. They screwed it up in Nigel Neal's mind. He didn't have anything to do,
right?
But still, to get Nigel Neal to do.
Well, John Carpenter was like a big fan of his.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that he reached out to him, but.
So where could it have gone? What other top writers would they have gotten to do scripts in the other Halloween movies in the series?
Is Richard Matheson still alive in 82?
I believe so.
I think so.
I think so.
Could have been interesting.
That would have been a good one too. Jeff has these great pictures. But when we get the video together for YouTube, we'll put some of those pictures towards the end. Jeff, why don't you go ahead and explain quickly Halloween? You have a little tradition.
Well,
for
let's.
some
I can put them up, and then I can pretty them up later.
Oh,
but let's see.
Way to go, Chief.
Well, you know.
So while he's doing that, Jeff, go ahead.
Okay. Well,
little breakdown.
Okay. Can you guys see that, or did it share?
No,
I can't see anything. My Halloween tradition generally is sit at home, watch horror movies, and order pizza, and because we know we don't get any kids where we are, so
we can see it, Bob.
There we go.
Okay, yep. So that was I got to meet Tom Atkins finally, the great Atkins.
Nice.
A couple years ago, and at a convention, and I had if you can hold it on this, I had a story. I asked him to sign an autograph for me, and I had said, now I remember from that In Search of Darkness movie where they go through and they're showing all the different, it's a documentary about 80s horror. And he's in it quite a bit, talking about this and that, because he was in The Fog and he was in, 100 other things. But he was saying that he's like, I want you to know they turned that third feed off right after they cut the film. It's like right after the film ended, they ended that the third TV station and stopped it, so nobody was harmed, and you can take that to the bank. And wow. That was the funniest thing I ever heard. So I asked him if he would write something along those lines on his autograph, and he did. He was like, don't worry, nobody, none of the kids were harmed, and you can take that to the bank. So
that's cool.
Anyway, but and when I was asking him to do all this, he was kind of looking at me, and he was like, "You're a weird guy." I'll take that from Tom Atkins.
Yeah,
he was very perceptive. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Super sweet though. Very, very, very gentle, very nice guy.
Yeah,
I'm so happy I got to meet him. He's been a hero for a long time.
That's cool.
That's very cool. All right, let me see if I can.
So every year I sequester myself and Lauren and I, we order pizza and we watch movies. So I was thinking, we could invite a couple of people over. So we started inviting a couple of people over, and then we would watch a movie that hopefully they hadn't seen before. And then we invited a couple of other people over that didn't get kids at their door either. And hopefully they, same sort of thing. So I started doing, and I think Halloween 3 was the first time I did it.
Oh.
Well, I started trying to theme our decorating inside, because it didn't make any sense to bother decorating outside because nobody was going to see it. So I started to try to theme indoor decorations to the movie that we were doing. And so when we did Halloween 3, I had these guys, and I kind of set it up to look like Stacy Nelkin's father's store, with the little display cases and stuff. And I got a giant banner printed that was like Silver Shamrock, Halloween masks, kind of a thing, and with the Silver Shamrock logo and stuff. And I got that made up. And then I've had for a couple of years a resin casting of a sculpture of Conal Cochran that Daniel Horn did, and it wasn't painted or anything. So I quickly painted that, and I put glass eyes in it, and got, I put hair on it and stuff. And I have a kind of a go-to mannequin that I turn into just about anything. And so I put a suit on him, and I made him into Colonel Cochrane, and he was kind of standing in our living room holding one of those skull, the skull masks.
Oh, that's so cool.
And there was a bunch of other masks just on stands and things kind of around him and things. But so between the two, and then I got, like a welcome to Santa Mira sign, and I got the final processing, do not enter sign. I put that on the bathroom door. Generally the people that came in that we had over hadn't seen the movie, so it was fun.
Awesome.
That's great.
So you should have had them put on the masks and then play the
right.
Let me tell you guys, if you ever have a chance to go to lunch with Jeff, do so. One of the conversations we had, he was letting me know where to go to find really cheap, really good coffins for the Halloween display in the front yard. So there you go.
I can hook you up.
Yeah. So we'll put the photos of Jeff's haunt for that year. And he did Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein one year.
Yeah, I did that down in Monsterpalooza for the that big display museum room when it was in Burbank. That was an earlier year.
Fantastic.
But yeah, it was fun.
I love it.
I think that's why I was drawn to Halloween 3 when it first came out, because I was so, even back then, I made my first mask when I was, 9 or 10 years old.
Wow.
And I think you've seen it, haven't you, Larry? That Planet of the Apes
Yeah.
one that has the fun fur on it, and it's completely solidified into like a cracker almost.
Yeah.
But it's I've been making rubber masks for so long that it's like, what, this movie came out, it's about this crazy mask maker, and and it's like you could tell it was like shot at Don Post Studios and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, that's the coolest thing. I finally got to work for Don Post one time. This was just before they closed up, maybe a year or so before they closed up, and he asked me, I didn't get to actually go down to his shop, but he asked me to do a couple of pieces that he wanted to pitch to Spirit Halloween at the time. And so I gave him a price, and that was fine, and I sculpted it up in my shop, and I made molds, and I met him halfway down to LA, and we had lunch at that little steak place that's kind of midway down. I'm trying to think what it is.
Harris Ranch?
Yeah, Harris Ranch.
Oh, I thought it was.
So we stopped. We met up there and swapped molds in the parking lot, and he got lunch for us, and we went on our merry way. But
may I ask what was the mold of?
It was the main thing was a kind of a flat-backed zombie clown that they wanted to have kind of look like it was coming up out of the ground. So it was like a chest and abdomen, head was a separate piece, and the arms were separate pieces that they could do and put wire inside of them and stuff. But
that kind of like those grave walkers.
Sort of, yeah. But Spirit never went for it, so they never went into production. But I can still put it on the resume.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
So
that is very cool. So, anything else to share before we get into our censor sweep with regards to Halloween or Halloween 3?
If this movie had just been called Season of the Witch, I think it would have been much better received. But
yeah,
people wanted their Michael Myers, and one of the reasons I saw it when it premiered, and one of the reasons I saw it was like, okay, let's see what they're going to do now. They had the whole Michael Myers thing. Let's see what direction they're going to go in now. And I loved it. I thought it was just really fun. But
Yeah, with whatever little flaws here and there, or jumps in or lack of logic.
Yeah.
It is a great movie. It's a fun movie. It's an interesting concept, and I think has great actors, and most of the effects are really good.
Yeah, most of
And
them.
look, the masks are iconic.
Oh yeah.
Was it Trick or Treat Studios that re-released them another time?
They purchased Don Post Studios from the company that owned it after that purchased it from Don Post many moons ago. Paper Magic Group went out of business, and Trick or Treat picked this one up. They picked up, a number of mass companies now. So they're kind of the only uh, game in town at this point.
But it's still not like it was back in the day where you would walk into, the corner drugstore, or you'd walk in somewhere and just see like a whole wall full of masks.
Wolverine.
And you couldn't afford them all, but
Right.
I was lucky enough to pick that one up
Awesome.
back in 1967. This is like one of the original ones.
Wow.
So
good deal.
And of course, you wear this out trick or treating, and you just like sweat and pass out after about a half an hour.
So long as
Yeah, that vinyl doesn't breathe, man.
Yeah. Well, that was your choice. Either one of those, with the hard plastic mask that the elastic bends and then
I had plenty
around
of
the
those.
eyes and stuff, or you suffocate in one of those things.
Right.
But the funny thing too is there were also like cheaper masks. Like I had a creature from the Black Lagoon that I got from like Dean's Variety or whatever.
Uh-huh.
They were like $1.99 or something. But it was Creature from the Black Lagoon, but it had the white fright hair on it.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
And it was like a real thin rubber.
Yeah.
I found it like a few years ago in a box in the basement, but it was just, the rubber was just, I picked it up, it just crumbled into dust.
Wasn't that company Topstone? I think it was Topstone that did a
Topstone was known for some very thin
tissue paper
latex masks.
Yeah.
The very first mask I ever purchased, my mom ordered it for me, and it was a Topstone mask. She got it from the Captain Company, out of the back of Famous Monsters magazine.
Sure.
And it was called the Bridal Skull. It didn't occur to me that it was like, oh, this is supposed to be like a female skull because it has like a wedding veil sort of thing on it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was super cool looking, and it came literally in a manila envelope. And it was pancake flat,
mashed
and and it was like a millimeter thick, latex, all full of air bubbles and stuff. But
yeah,
it was awesome. And years later, I was able to pick up from somebody that had the mold for it. I was able to pick up like a 1/4 inch thick copy of it. You could kill somebody with this thing, and it's like it's super heavy, and it's like that's never deteriorating ever.
Wow.
So
that's
very
cool.
fun though.
Yeah.
It's like my whole adult life has been chasing things that I had as a child.
I think that's a lot of us.
Yeah, that's a lot of us. Yeah.
One of the cool things with Jeff, though, he picked up a book from one of the comic shops, and he's like, "Oh, this is a cool figure. I'll just make one." And then I came to visit one day, and he's over there like just sculpting away. I'm like,
that's
I want one of those. I'll just make
magical.
it. That's an awesome talent to have.
That is great. Yeah.
Well, my friends, it is that time. This was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Again, those of you watching, listening, check out Halloween 3. Let us know what you think once you watch it, or if you have watched it. This is the time for our censor sweep. We're going to do round robin. Shall we start with Bob?
Well, I'd been talking all about Godzilla Fest and all the last podcasts, and we took a hiatus in September because I had to do it. But we had so much fun doing it, and that we've also now announced 2026, September 18th, 19th, 20th is the next Godzilla Fest.
All right.
So we have not gone as far as figuring out what guests to bring over or whatever. We've got most of the dealers and vendors all said they want to come back, and we also had some others that didn't do it this year, like Mondo and Cavity Color and some of the other companies that want in next year. So it's going to be bigger and better and still in the same place at the Holiday Inn on Van Ness, and it should be a lot of fun. And we got a lot of time to plan it out. So, with any luck, I was telling these guys before the episode, with any luck, I'll be retired by the end of the year, and I'll have all the time in the world to dedicate to Planet 8 and Godzilla Fest. So, should be cool.
Excellent.
Other than that, I did bring a little show and tell. Thanks to Brad Warner giving me a big chunk of his collection during the pandemic, I was able to get this Don Post book, which is like hardcover and thick as a phone book. And inside, there's like little chapters about each decade, but mostly it's just gorgeous, big, sometimes full pages, sometimes quarter pages of all the masks from over the years.
Bob, the book is so big that when you lift it up and talk behind it, it muffles your voice.
Yeah, no, you could stop a bullet with this thing.
Wow.
So it's very cool. I don't think it has Jeff's zombie clown or whatever in it, but
no, oh well.
Everything else is in there.
Awesome.
Even all the Universal Monster masks and the Star Wars masks and everything else they did. Just a walk down memory lane is amazing, the licenses that they had over the years.
There was a video, I don't know if it was online or they were talking about the different decades for Don Post, and it was very sad the day that they had to close the shop. I should want to find that book. That looks like a cool book, but I'll try to find that video too.
That's definitely a very cool book. Very heavy book.
Yeah. Lord Blood-Rah, what do you have to share with us, sir?
Well, if you're listening to this the day it comes out, then this weekend at the Orinda Theater in Orinda, California, is Lord Blood-Rah's Halloween party. And it's going to be exactly that, a Halloween party. The theater has full bar, food, there'll be vendors. I've got a tarot reader and palm reader there for your pleasure. And the film we're going to be showing is one of my favorite anthology films, The House That Dripped Blood. And that's coming up October 25th at the Orinda Theater. For information on that, go to lordbloodrah.com and you can get tickets there too.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
You're going to see some of your Planet 8 crew there.
Looking forward to it.
Be on the lookout. I've never seen that film, and I'm really looking forward to it.
That, before every show, I will ask the audience, how many people here have not seen this movie before? And I love it when people raise their hands, because it's like, okay, great. You're seeing it for the first time, the way it was intended on the big screen.
And what year did that come out?
71. I'll study up on it before I host it. But,
so it's kind of the same time as like Tales from the Crypt and
yes,
those. Okay.
Yes, is that one of the Amicus?
Yeah.
Movie. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Amicus anthologies.
They're
wonderful. Yeah. If you don't like what you're watching, just wait a few minutes and something else will come up.
Great. Can't wait.
Thank you.
Waka. I like your shirt, Waka. I like everybody's shirt, but Waka's got the classics.
Oh, yes.
Classic Universal Monsters.
Ah, yes.
Always got to go back to the originals. And speaking of classic Universal monsters, I want to share a gift that I got from our friend Billy, who's the Monsters and Magazines podcast. He knows that I do love the creature from the Black Lagoon. And so he sent me this sketch card that has the creature, and it's on a little page from a creature novel. So it's a very cool, kind of a one of a kind little item. So I'm going to get that framed. And then, because it is Halloween month, I know we don't celebrate just one day, we celebrate the whole month.
Well, Halloween, yeah, it just means October.
Right. It's just a whole,
Part of
you know,
September, too.
it's like, you know, Halloween Heritage Month. So I'm reading this month. Well, I'll finish it in a day or two. This book that I've read before, and it's very appropriate for this month. It's called A Night in the Lonesome October by one of my favorite writers, Roger Zelazny. And this brings together a whole bunch of characters like Sherlock Holmes and Jack the Ripper and Dracula and Larry Talbot. And so there's two competing sides that are one side is trying to, they're going to perform a ritual on Halloween, and the other side is trying to prevent it. And so they're all trying to accumulate the things they need to do these tasks. But the best part of the story is it's all seen through the eyes of a dog. And so he's the one seeing what's going on, and he's trying to piece together what's happening. And it's pretty lighthearted, actually. So I'll be reading that and then talking about it on my echoes from the satellite show here on YouTube.
All right.
At some point. But if you want a fun story to read for Halloween for this month, I would recommend that.
Excellent.
Cool.
I have a little something to
Little
share.
something.
Little something.
Nothing up my sleeve.
Some
Presto.
actually dear friends, Chad and Jenny Martin. We went this past weekend to a bar crawl in San Jose that was Halloween themed. And so the tiki bar down there is Dr. Funk's, and their theme was Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And so they had these giant popcorn stuck to the walls, and they actually had a killer clown animatronic and all kinds of stuff. We then went next door. It's an Irish pub, and they had a Michael Myers themed inside their bar. And so there were a couple of Michael Myers here and there, and some signs and pictures. Anyway, it's amazing how many Halloween themed bars there are, at least in the South Bay. We went to a few more and had a good time. But God love them, they gave me these gifts. These are the old Ben Cooper. We were talking about the different kind of mask. You get the one with the rubber band, and so they came out with these figures.
I love those.
This is Godzilla, and can't really get the chest design, but they're online. You can find them, and they also got the Jaws version.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's so cool. And they have, I mean, like, you name it. These figures, mask, even they didn't have a Predator mask from Ben Cooper at the time. Well, they did a figure with what they thought the Ben Cooper mask would look like.
Is that from Super 7?
NECA.
It is NECA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got about half a dozen of those to give away at the Godzilla Fest.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. And I missed it last year. That's when they had the Creature and Frankenstein and some other ones, and now, good luck finding one at a decent price. I may have shared these a year or two ago, but they're worth sharing again because of today's podcast. These are the Mondo tiki mugs for Halloween 3.
Oh, very nice.
Cool.
And they sold out almost immediately. But we mentioned the reissue of the masks. I have those, but they're up in a cabinet. I didn't want to mess with it, so I thought it'd be easier just to show the little tiki mugs with the Shamrock badge, and the pumpkin has the snake. The witch has the rest of it. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to like stack them
okay.
a certain way, and it shows the snake crawling up their the stack.
Interesting.
These are
Nice.
These are really cool. Last but not least, Mr. Jeff. Quite the collection there, my friend.
Well, yeah, I wasn't really sure if I was going to show anything. Now I've got a mug as well, but it's already stacked. So this wasn't anything that it's like the company was Oddities, but this wasn't anything that was you know, a legitimately licensed thing, but
that looks good. I like the
I saw it.
rope
I saw it online, and I was like, "Oh, I have to have that."
Yeah. Well, I like that it's all painted too.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of detail.
So there was an event. There was an event at one point in the bar that's an actual bar, and it's still open down in LA area. I'm not exactly sure where they filmed those couple scenes for Halloween 3. And they had an event there, and Tom Atkins was there, and he did he autographed.
That is cool.
Autographed a silver Shamrock coaster, but it also came with the Dr. Chalice action figure. So
is that a 6-pack in the bottom corner?
It is. Yep. Yep. It's a single can of beer, and then there's a bottle of beer as well.
Okay.
So
not the bottle in the paper bag.
Yeah, yeah. And do you mind if I mention one other thing?
Sure.
Anything you want. This is where we pimp everything.
Yeah.
I got a friend who is publishing a new book for young adults, like teens and such, from their company, Sky Turtle Nova. And it is the first in a series of 6 Ultraman books that are going to be. It's called the Ultra Academy. The first one is Beware the Baleful Baltan. And it's sort of the formation of the Ultra Academy, which is super genius kids from all over the United States. They get together and you know, do their, you know, one's into botany, one's into robotics, that sort of thing, and they use their gifts and their intelligence to ultimately to defeat Baltan. But the original SSSP characters are in there also, retired from the SSSP, but they're there, you know, as teachers now. And so this is very fun. It's a very quick read. You know, it's intended for teenagers, but it's a super fun read. And you can get this on Amazon.
I will say I started reading it, and it reads like an episode.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it's very smartly written. I enjoyed it.
Amazingly, I don't have any of those. I'll have to go search them out.
Well, we're gonna rectify that, my friend.
Yeah, next time I see you, I can give you one.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, possible guest for next year's Godzilla / maybe Ultraman.
Well, I think we're going to incorporate a little Ultraman in there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Excellent.
It is the anniversary, so
there you go.
Excellent.
I will say, I think I mentioned this to you, Bob. My niece, my goddaughter, came up from San Diego to visit family, but specifically to go to the show, and she had a great time. wore her Mothra jacket and got nothing but compliments, not just at the show, but at the airport flying back home Sunday night. So, yeah, she's very happy there's going to be one next year.
Well, you'll be amazed at, you wear a Godzilla shirt or something, at how many people will say something.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why we need to try to tap into some of those outlying type fans with an interest. But
well, my friends, that's about it. But Jeff, you wanted to close us out?
Oh, I was just, I don't know. I was just, I'm trying to, there's something on the back of this that this fell off of one of the masks.
Yeah.
So I don't know, there's some weird little
You should mess with
electronic thing in here.
I wouldn't.
I think you should put it down.
Wait.
Jeff,
No,
I wouldn't
no.
touch that.
No, I shouldn't.
wouldn't touch
I shouldn't
that.
do this.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Put it down.
No.
Oh,
Put it down. Back away from the badge.
Yeah.
all right.
Keep away from electronic devices too.
Yes, exactly. Don't
All
watch
right.
TV at 9 o'clock.
My friends, this was a very fun episode as always. I wish I could have you two with us every go around. We do the podcast. You add so much to the show.
Thank you for having
those of you.
Really
Yeah, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
This is something I actually feel comfortable talking about. So
excellent.
I've seen the thing so many times now.
Excellent. Those of you listening, go watch. Those of you watching, thank you. Go listen. No. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves.
Yes.
It's a crazy world we live in these days, but we appreciate you tuning in. We're glad to be back. Please leave us some comments, some feedback. Share the show with your friends and family. Until we meet again, take care, stay safe, and live long and prosper.
And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Thank you, Lord Blood-Rah.
On that note, this will conclude this transmission from Planet 8. We would like to thank all of our intergalactic audience for listening. Be sure to head on over to our website at www.planet8podcast.com, where you can get more information on this episode's topic.
For more conversation, find us on Twitter at Planet8Cast.
Or on Facebook at facebook.com/Planet8Podcast.
We want to thank you guys for tuning in each and every episode. We look forward to your input and opinions. Until next time, this is Planet 8 signing off. End transmission.
By George, he's got it. It is the end.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
It's almost time, kids. The clock is ticking. Be in front of your TV sets for the Horathon. And remember the big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it. And don't forget to wear your masks. The clock is ticking. It's almost time.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.